think you're all that. But it's a difference in having confidence when, like you said, Damari, when you know who you are, when you own who you are, and you know your craft and you're comfortable with it. So anybody have anything to add to that?
I think that what I would say about confidence versus cocky, I feel like the confidence is just kind of like, that's you wanting to get yourself out there and for people to appreciate what you do and for you to be able to help others and reach others through what you do. Cocky to me is you want the validation. You want people to know who you are, what you do, where you are, where, like, you know, that's where the cockiness comes in. It's like, I'm too good for you, not I'm good for you, I'm good for you and I can help you. You know, so I think that's the difference.
I got a prime example. Season 5 of me coming on to Black Ink. I could have been on the show. I told Maya what happened was my initial assignment was coming in behind the scenes as a stylist. When I walked on the scene, it was like, who is this dude? We like his personality, we like his style. Now, in between the first time of me coming on set up until the conversations of me becoming a cast member C, because it's different cast members, how they break it down, cast member A, cast member B, cast member C, right? I wasn't thirsty or geeked to be on TV because with fame comes a lot of backlash and all. You don't have to, you know, it can get real crazy. And I tell people, like, my original assignment was to be behind the scenes. So regardless if I'm on TV or not, or I'm placed as a cast member or not, my assignment was to be behind the scenes. Now, we all know being on the scene can help furthermore push my brand, but that's not what I came to the door looking for. You feel me? Now, I don't know what happened in between time, but there were moments where conversations like, hey, we want Demario as one of the cast members, you know. So I'm a believer in God, and everything's happened for a reason, and at that time it will happen.
Period.
I love it.
I love it. We said the same time.
And it's so important. It's so important to, you know, just know who you are. And I'm learning that more, learning who you are, learning on what you can do, knowing the power that you possess, you know, because we are powerful people. And it's a million stylists, it's a million event planner and actress. But if you are very confident and you know your power, you can shoot right up there because you have your own. You have your own. It's nothing like being the best you. You only can be the best you that you can be. So I'm definitely learning that. That's really good. And so we, you know, we talked about branding yourself and marketing yourself. I know for me, that's what I'm, you know, just trying to do now. Really trying to stay on social media and do things, you know, when you got a million other things going around surrounding you. So how has that been for you all, branding yourself and marketing yourself? Marissa, you mentioned that you've been doing TikToks and stuff. And so what is your goal from that? And
I don't know. It's a laugh. It keeps me entertained, and knowing I'm making people laugh, that keeps me sane. But the branding on my end, like, I'm doing so many different things that there's like, as I cook, so I got my cooking page and I branded that.
Yeah.
If you need some recipes, holla at me. Brooklyn Bites, what is it?
She was gonna cater the event.
What happened?
I said she was our caterer for today.
And I learned how to make sushi.
We got you next year, don't worry. We got you next year.
But then I got the production page, which I promote like films and stuff that I'm working on. But then I got my Marissa page, which is like me and my son videos, and then my silly videos, and then just other stupidity, foolishness. I like foolishness.
It's good though.
But yeah, when I moved here, there's like focus on one thing, do one thing, you get out here. Somebody told me this. Oh, if you're gonna act, you should stick to acting. I was like, but what if I'm not getting casted in anything? Well, I got to pick something else to do. And then I started writing, and somebody told me, well, pick a genre. Like, you're good at comedy, stick with comedy. I was like, but I like horror films. I want to write horror. And I like thrillers and sci-fi and action films. And now I've got probably a script of each if somebody needed to read it. And this goes piggyback on the confidence. Definitely not cocky, but if someone says, hey, do you have something I could read? I was like, ooh, what do you want? Do you want a sitcom? You want a short film? You want a feature film? Do you want action? You want a rom-com? Do you want a thriller? I got a horror. I've got teasers to them. I've got lookbooks. This is confidence because I have it ready. I've had a lot of friends where somebody says, yeah, well, send me something. And a week later, I'll be like, well, did you send them anything? It's like, no, I have to prep stuff. And I was like, no, you got to have it ready. You got to have your resume ready. You got to have your writing samples
That's
ready
true.
to go. If they want to see some YouTubes, have that link already in some emails where you could just backtrack and be like, oh, I'm going to forward you this email. Always be ready. And don't put yourself in one box because I'm in like 50 different boxes.
Boom.
I love that.
But
That's true.
Multiple streams.
I believe I'm doing good in all of them.
You were just awarded something I saw online. You were
I won a
awarded.
short film contest, and a friend, Tiffany Kaufman, she's a PR, she sent it to me, and I was BSing on the date because she sent it to me, I think, May 1st, and she said, make sure you get it in by June 1st, and I was like, cool, I got something. A week went by, and I was like, I still got something. Then the deadline came up, and I was like, okay, mind you, a 12-page short film, I could write that in like a couple of hours, and it'll be fine. So I went through my emails and I was like, because I got a pile of shorts and I was like, oh, this one would be great. They wouldn't expect it. It's got comedy, it's a thriller, it's a strong female lead, but she goes a little nuts. And I'm really looking forward to seeing who they cast in it because she's got to like go from she got to do a 180 in like 2 seconds and make it believable. Anyhow, so submitted it and I kept saying, I was like, oh, this is good. I think they're going to love it. No one's going to submit anything like this. And there's that confidence, not cocky. And then like midway through June, was it June? No, this is June. Yeah, anyhow, they sent me the congratulations and I
That's
posted
awesome.
it. And then here goes one of the stories I was telling you about. Now, all the thanks that I got from like industry friends that are doing way up here, someone said, hey, is that so-and-so? Like they called it by the original name that I wrote it 8 years ago. Mind you, I wrote this 8 years ago and I just tweaked it a little bit. Cut to that story, this person, I presented it to them to see if they were interested in. And the email correspondence was, hey, I got this idea. I'm wondering if you want to shoot. They responded back, send me back when you get the script. I replied back to them probably a week later. I have the script, check it out. Let me know if you're interested. Their final response back was, yeah, I love it. We could shoot it in like 1 to 2 weeks. I'll get back to you. They never got back to me. 8 years later, when I announced that short film won a contest, they messaged me and said, that's my script. You sold it to me. I paid for it. Why would you submit this without, blah, blah, blah. And I said, oh, excuse me. Mind you, I own everything I write. I said, would you like me to forward you the email correspondence where it says blah, 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 blah. I could screenshot it and send it to you right now. Tail between their legs. No, never mind. It's cool. I'm good. I got bigger things to worry about. And this was somebody I respected, but I'm not surprised, disappointed again, like I've said, but don't call me for none again.
Right.
But once something I wrote got fired that you remember you were really interested in 8 years ago, now you want to try me.
Right.
Wow.
The devil always lurking.
That's how it is. I think people just be bored. They just want to start.
I don't know what it's called. Carla Crazy. They're going to be filming it in Flower Ave Films. They're going to be filming it in August. I'm looking forward to it. And
Wow.
you'll see why somebody tried to try me with it because it's good.
It's going to be filmed that again?
They're filming it in August.
Okay. In the area.
Flower Ave Films are the ladies. It's Deshawn and Sade. Those are the 2 female Black producers that are doing it. I'm like, okay.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Producer of the year.
Okay.
I know.
So I love what you said, be ready. I think this is a time, especially when we're quarantined and we don't know what's going on, is to be ready. So I don't think we should be sitting on any gifts, any talents, or anything. Like we need to, if you think of it, be ready, go for it. Because you only live once. You only live once. And so I love that when you said be ready to go for it and go get it and stuff like that. So that's super important. And so we talked about this too, like, support. How's your support? You have a team. How was it building a team and it fell through? Who do you have that you can call and, they have your back for someone.
Adrian.
For someone who's looking.
Adrian, you don't believe this. Girl, let me tell you. Adrian, let them know. Don't know I'm calling you.
Or she'll send me a random text.
I am the most, let me tell you, Stefano, I am so random. I don't know if that's